Hi there, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to draw text on the screen so that when the game's running, um, the players will be able to tell how many pixels they have left to get across the screen and who is winning at any given time. So let's go, and what we're going to do first is we're going to go over to the content folder and we're going to do add new item, and we're going to select sprite font. Okay, that'll open this screen and this XML screen, and we're going to choose, let's see, we're going to make the size nice and big. Let's make, we'll try 36, and I like Arial as my favorite font. And let's see, we'll make that bold. So I'm just going to overwrite the value that's already there. Okay, so now I need to make a sprite font variable. So much the same way that we made a texture 2D variable. Now I'm going to go back to my game 1.cs, and I'm going to create a sprite font variable. And I'm going to say sprite font, and then I'll call it font equal. And now I'm going to load the sprite font that I just created and assign that to my font variable. All right, so let's see, what was it? Oh no, it's this.content.load, and that doesn't go in the game one method. It goes down in the load content method. So I'm going to say font equals this dot content dot load, and then I'm going to say sprite font, and then in parentheses I put sprite font 1. Okay, so now I just need to figure out what I'm going to, where I'm going to draw the number of pixels that each player has yet to travel to get to the right edge of the screen. So let me do this. I'm going to say sprite batch dot draw string, and then my sprite font was called font, and then I want to say, let's see, pixels distance remaining, and so the distance remaining would be the screen width minus the left edge of the player's rectangle, and then you would also subtract out how wide he is. So I think he's 60 wide. Okay, and now I need a position. So I'm going to put him right above where the, well, actually, you know what? Let me put, let me put them kind of in the middle of the screen. So let's do, for it, we need to do new vector 2, and I need to put a location on the screen. So let's do screen width divided by 2, and then let me do, well, you know what? How about we'll have a number that just goes with him? Well, actually, no. Let's do player 2, 1 rec dot y minus 100. Oops, what did I just do? Let's do Control Z. And then I think I need to do, oh, that's the problem. and then I need to do a color. So he is white smoke in color, so I'm going to say color.white smoke. So that's his tinting. Okay, and let's see why it doesn't like this. Oh, I know, you have to have a double value. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to convert that int into a float. Hopefully this will work. Put parentheses there, and it still doesn't work. All right, so let me just pause the video and see if I can figure out what's going on here. Okay, I had two problems. The first problem was this should be a plus sign, not an ampersand. It's an ampersand in Visual Basic, another programming language, and that's why I always sometimes get them confused when I'm programming in C#. And then the other thing is I have to have a float value for, well, actually, I maybe don't. No, I don't. It was actually the problem with the ampersand. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the location. I'm going to draw how many pixels remaining the other guy has to do to get to the right edge of the screen. So I'm going to this time do, it would be player 2 rec. And then this one is going to be player 2 rec plus 100. So let's see if I can get over there. That should be minus 100. That should be plus 100. Okay, so because we don't want to, the way I had it, unless I subtracted out 100 from the y coordinate, the sprite would have gone right over the text that says how far he needs to go. So let's give this a shot and see what happens. All right. Okay, so what's going on? It's not updating. So let's see if we can figure this out. Oh, it's not player 1 rec with, it's .x. Okay, and you know what? The location was like way far to the right. So sometimes you have to experiment with this. So let me do, I'm going to subtract out like another 300 pixels from the left coordinate of the text. We'll try 200 first, and then we'll see if that works. And then the second guy is light blue. So let me make his font be light blue to match his color. Okay, so here we go. All right. All right. Good. All right, so now that looks good for the distance remaining for the one guy, but I'm not quite sure why. Oh, is this it? Yeah, that's it. That's the problem. Some of you probably saw that as I was typing it. Okay, and I don't want a semicolon there, I want a colon. Okay, so let's try this now. All right, so that looks good. I'm gonna, my font still isn't quite centered, so I'm gonna move it another 100 pixels to the left. So I'm gonna do debug, stop debugging, and I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna move it 300 instead of 200. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw, let's make it a little more interesting, and let's put a message to say who is winning the game. So I'm gonna say if, so if player one, player one rec dot x greater than player two rec dot x, then I'm going to draw a message that says player one winning the game. So let me just copy this statement. And what did I do? I think I cut. So I need to draw a message that says player one winning Okay, and then I'm going to put that in the middle of the screen, kind of up top. So the message about how many pixels they have left to go is at um, let's see, screen width divided by 2 minus 300. Okay, so we're going to put it at minus 300. Okay, and then we're going to say else if player 2 rec.x greater than player 1 rec.x, meaning the second player's left coordinate is greater than the first player's, and he must be winning. So I'm going to copy that and do a paste, and then it would be player 2 winning. Okay, so let me put the, okay, and then the only other case would be it's a tie. So I'm going to do, oh, that's it, I'm missing semicolons. It's a tie. Let's say no one is ahead. Let's see, I'll just say, what else? The players are neck and neck. Okay. Where's my exclamation point? Why can't I find it? Oh, it's up above the one. Okay, so let's see, what doesn't it like about this? Oh, I got rid of the parentheses. I hate typing on laptop. This one laptop keyboard that I'm using right now. Okay, so let's, okay, where am I missing? Oh, I forgot the closing one there. Okay, so I can see my message about who's winning is too far up. It's kind of off the screen. So you know what? Let me put it below where the second sprite is instead of above um, the message about how far the first sprite has to go. So I'm going to say player 2 rec. And then let's do plus 200. And let's see if that'll work. Okay, so the distance remaining for... I don't really like that. All right, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to adjust the locations of um, the distance remaining. All right, so I tweaked my colors and the locations of the font of the messages on the screen. So let me just show you what I came up with. So first of all, I changed the colors of my player 1 and player 2 to yellow, green, and violet so that we can really distinguish between them pretty relatively easily. And then I tweaked the locations of where I was drawing the messages for distance remaining and also my messages for who is winning. This was the big one. I wanted to put the message about who is winning in between the sprites. So I just kept tweaking the number for the Y location of the message until I finally got it in the middle of where my sprites are going to appear. And then notice that if I have the yellow-green guy winning, I draw the message in yellow-green. And if I have the player 2 winning, I draw the message in violet. So that kind of gives the users an indication of who's winning or as well. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, and you know what? I'm going to subtract 5 pixels because I'm a perfectionist and I can tell that it looks like subtracting another 5 pixels would really put that message in between them perfectly. And maybe even 10 pixels. Okay, so let's try it. Let's subtract from this. Let's see what 40 is like. 40, and then actually I'll do 10. Okay, and let's see. All right, let me just get my one guy across the screen. I think this is going to be better. Okay, clears them. And the other guy. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, actually, to really be careful, it looks like if I move him like 3 pixels down, it'll really look good. So debug, stop debugging. And let's do 43. All right, so I think that should do it. We almost have our game done. There's just one more thing we're going to add in the next screencast.